you take a look at how things have changed from, Bob Gibson, I don't want you talking to the enemy, to now, I mean, it's not even close.
But that's transcendent. That's all sports.
That's all sports, but that's
sports.
That's the deal.
That's not going back, guys. No time soon.
Right. So I don't. The only way I think you got to pay them. If you want me in, you got to have prize money. But who knows? We'll see. Jeff, you've had a chance to notice something interesting in the college game that could have an impact on the pro game down the road in the big men.
Well, it already has. I mean, it already has with all these great, the best players in college right now are all big men that frankly can't get to the NBA. And it's changed. I mean, think about this, Bob. 10 years ago, Jahlil Okafor was a top 3 pick in the NBA. Now, Jahlil Okafor would not be drafted at all. And I'm not even talking about the Jahlil Okafor we saw in the NBA, but the one leading up to it, right? The guy at Duke who was dominant low post scorer, Zach Edey. There's a reason he's still at Purdue this year after winning National Player of the Year.
Every year.
Hunter Dickinson. There's a reason he's still there after putting up huge numbers at Michigan. You had Oscar Tshiebwe, a dominant rebounder, dominating in the G League right now, but he cannot get to the NBA. Why? Well, most of these guys can't step out. Hunter Dickinson has shown he can and step out and shoot the 3, but most of them can't do that. And also defensively, you can't switch with them. They are, one-dimensional and really what they're able to do. They're not athletic. They're not long. If you're long and athletic, it's different. You can switch ball screens. You can block shots. You can run the court, all those things. But to me, you better be able to either shoot the hell out of the ball as a big and be a stretch big, or be a long athletic big. If you're not, your odds of making and being drafted in the first round or maybe at all are very slim these days.
Oscar Tshiebwe is the best rebounder to come out of college basketball in the 21st century, and he can't get to the NBA. That is astonishing to me. I just thought that skill would alone, I don't care, would have to get him a job. And it's still, I think it will, but I can't believe it won't at some point. But that's a statement I'm going to stick with. He's the best rebounder we've seen in college basketball in the 21st century, and here he is. One of the byproducts of this for me, and you're right, and I can't argue with anything you're saying. I think it's sad. I hate it. Is you still got different levels of basketball. And it's a reason to watch college basketball, to see Zach Edey. He knows what he's doing down there. He's still a pleasure to watch. He's got right hand, left hand. He's got different moves. He's not McHale, but he knows what he's doing down there. And so does Hunter Dickinson. And they're a pleasure to watch for me as a basketball fan. And if they're not good enough for the NBA, well, that's the NBA's problem. But but you're right. The game is so changed so dramatically. It's incredible. Can you imagine having this discussion 20 years ago, and there's going to be a time when a 7'4" guy who's player of the year will not even be in the draft? No, that would have been science fiction. You couldn't believe that could possibly happen.
Does it ever go back? Do you guys think it ever, because everything kind of goes in cycles, right? Like, does it get back? I mean, are we talking 30 years away from it going back, or could it go back? Like, because you've seen the league for so long, Bob. Like, is this something that could go back, or we passed that point?
No, I mean, the 3 is the most radical transformation of how the game's being. The 2 most radical things that affected the NBA in its 75-year history are the 24-second clock that was implemented in 1954-55, and the hostile takeover of the 3. And the Darwin-morphication of basketball.
The hostile takeover. It's like they took like hostages.
No, right? Really, it's what it is. It's a hostile takeover. Look at the hostage. Zach Edey and Hunter Dickinson are already hostages. Oscar Tshiebwe is a hostage of the 3. If they weren't for the 3, the game wouldn't have. The same game we knew. Yeah. So right. It's that's the most dramatic transformation, and it's a different game than it was even 10 years ago, let alone 30. And And so that's where we are, and it isn't going to go back. I mean, nobody's going to stop. Every little kid in America wants to be Steph Curry, and every big man is being instructed now. You got to learn how to shoot. So yeah. No, it's different. It's a very different game, and I don't see it going back. And I hate to say it, but there'll be a 4-point shot before I'm dead, and that might be the thing that kills me.
The quote. Hey, the quote of the year from Bob Ryan: "There'll be a 4-point shot before I'm dead."
And no, but you didn't get the full quote. But that might be what kills me.
And that might be the thing that kills me.
I love it.
Whether it's dissing casseroles for Thanksgiving or projecting his demise, Bob Ryan is en fuego or el fuego.
En fuego.
En fuego. I got that wrong.
I can't
even get that right. Anyways.